machita sengcola apha kule channel. Yeah, kuse ukhona indaba eziphumayo ezinkulu bafethu. Pirates isemasimbeni. Orlando Pirates ichelo ipapa Orlando Pirates. Ne SuperSport United ne Sekhukhune. They're in trouble with CAF, the Confederation of African Football. Pirates, yeah, Sekhukhune Orlando Pirates, ne SuperSport ne Sekhukhune United. CAF ikhuphe statement izolo ebusuku esi-affecta i-Pirates, SuperSport ne Sekhukhune United. Yeah, izindaba eziphumayo ngoku and sele ndaba izo-dominator. I think like the conversation is news are dominator for I think this week and like if Young almost the whole month because it's a fucking big story and it's urgent and it's big pressure on the Pirates, the SuperSport, and the Sekhukhune United. So ngena ngolo way ngothetha ngalo bazikhipane machita. But yeah, it's a story at the same time as much as okay crisis for Pirates, the SuperSport, and the Sekhukhune. A big win for women's football in South Africa. Before singene ku story bazikhipani bafethu if eqala ubanga le channel le content ungalali jo ngicela ucofa subscribe apha ezantsi khona indawo ezantsi bhala subscribe indawo emhlophe ezantsi bhala subscribe ngocofa pha azothola videos. So yeah, it's a big day, big win for like all the African, well, not African, like women's football in South Africa. All the young girls out there born in South Africa dlala ibhola eGauteng all over the country both. A big win for bona namhlanje and a big day for no day namhlanje is it 8th or 9th June. I think 8th June. So it's a special day, it's a special win for them because the way they change their careers, so fulfill their dreams, they change their families all over South Africa, they change their society. UCAF Skipani, UCAF when this statement is in a deadline, but a core team is like a Champions League, like a Confederation Cup this season. If I know a women's team, UCAF, uti a core team is also allowed to play CAF Champions League or a CAF Confederation Cup this season. If I know a women's team by law and by rule and take it or leave it. Otherwise, if I know a women's team was about disqualified. In the only ways in favor of developing women's football in Africa. Pirates, I know a women's team so affected big time. And Pirates is celebrated like Champions League this season. SuperSport United, I know a women's team. And SuperSport is a way like CAF Confederation Cup next season. Sekhukhune United, I know a women's team and is a way like actually is a way like was a participator for the first time in CAF Confederation Cup this season. And then deadline. This is the biggest part of this news. But okay, the Swan City Pirates born a ichelo papa up. Deadline the 30th of June. Deadline the 30th of June. Noted namhlanje in 9th of June. So Pirates in basically like is it 21 days for about my hlanganise women's team and then it's a registration with CAF. Otherwise Pirates is about disqualified as well as like CAF Champions League. The question is bazoyenza na Louis SuperSport United nayo in 21 days for about registration women's team, formation women's team. Is it possible in 21 days? Probably asiyazi. But shobile ngoku funeka izinto zenzekile okanye ezi teams about disqualified. Disqualification yeah, disappointment, also a financial for they're going to lose a lot of money if it's about disqualified as team CAF Champions League. So yeah, I say warning then to any team for especially teams from the Kaizer Chiefs because now Kaizer Chiefs it's one of the major teams in the ambitions of Africa. But I know a women's team. So I think we'll big warning shot to Kaizer Chiefs labor. Machita, if Nine ambitions will be like CAF Champions League next season or the season after, we need to make sure by the time in our women's team. Sometimes they crank on sometimes say maybe I want to tell the way when you but yeah, sometimes siyazi boxing much as is trendsetters bone. Dala been a women's team actually. I here last season. I think it's been a couple of years when Sundowns in a women's team. So when I got affected, they all good. Why Paris, ni Kaizer Chiefs, ni SuperSport, this new team basing a formation women's team asiyazi. But ke ngoku nathi problem ifikile ngoku and it's definitely solviwe futhi. Pirates I know women's team and question is a formation na and SuperSport and Sekhukhune United. Whether I think whether Zizo jump or anything the way this season now, but sooner or later next season is the way, and this is very good news for like women's football South Africa and all the young girls out there in terms of football and the ways on that for banyana our national women's team improve football better. If like Bone, there are more women's team, Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, SuperSport United, there's no women's team, and then qualities will improve by a women's team. There will more opportunities for young girls and young women out there for supporting families, but supporting themselves, but live out the dreams and passions, because like I'm sure like out there like the many women, young women about talented about but opportunities in Zimbabwe. And ngoku aphela senza izinto engana passion yazo ngafuna uzenza bone siyazi but sezinjani struggles out there for women out there in South African society yabo just to survive and bone nemisebenzi and bone abantu benza imisebenzi abangayifuniyo bayayuzwa. So this is another opportunity like a whole industry that's going to like break out ngoku. There like 3 more professional teams of women South African football, and so yeah, it's on one one side it's like a crisis for Orlando Pirates, SuperSport United, and Sekhukhune, but on the other side it's a big plus for women's football and the thousands of girls out there is the talented Pauline and abanye babo maybe the fans at Orlando Pirates. Bone imagine ngoku uzobane dream among Orlando Pirates unayo talent and you always passionate about Orlando Pirates. And then ngoku zoba opportunity ngokuba mawudlala Orlando Pirates. But yeah, so bona na Orlando Pirates bayizothini ne SuperSport United ne Sekhukhune United. Kushubile, pressure is on. Xesha lincinci. Sabona mazikhipani. Nibona njani match dalo yenzekayo apha? Nibona njani decision ka CAF? Is it fair? Is it not fair? Nibona njani le opportunity for like women's football in South Africa? Ngicela nisincola lapha i-comments bafethu. Ngicela le-views yenu nibona njani yonke le way. Otherwise I feel to ban the channel na le content njena siwe senzayo apha machita ungalali cofa usubscribe khona indawo ezantsi bhala subscribe ungalali cofa usubscribe uzathola videos machita. Otherwise masinqole napha i-comments bafethu ba zithini le way enzekayo namhlanje izokwenzeka in the next few weeks. Mwacha bafethu.